Back to If Civilization Reset, episode 10. If you haven't watched last episode or this entire series, I recommend you should go back and watch episode 1. So, last episode we saw the end of the avian plague, and now we'll have something huge erupting. Let's get into this. The tension between the yellow team and the square squad is brewing, and because of this, the yellow team will seek an alliance with the triangles. So the blue team and Javille. So the oligarchs of Zaluda, the king of the blue team and ruler of the brown team, they all meet in the city of Shelfleek for the Shelfleek Agreement. And in the end, the yellow team ends up being accepted into the Triangle Alliance. After doing that, the Square team, or the Square Alliance, is very fed up with the yellow team and the Triangle Alliance as a whole. So they decide, you know what? Maybe it's time. It is time for a declaration of war. The last war our enemies will ever fight in. We're getting rid of them for good. And with that, we have the 5-Year War. So, the purple team will start their invasion into the blue team for the 4th time. It's going not so far, and the blue team hasn't got any foreign aid yet. The pink team will make their campaign, also known as Rojana. So they make some progress into this place. They capture an island. But for this poor little grey team, the blue team's forces have already taken lots of land. Alright, so we see the red team launching their invasion of the maroon country. Forces from beyond start their campaign and then cut this area off. Forces from the maroon country flee down here, and then the red team does a blitzkrieg up into the coast. They are battling for the capital city. They send a good amount of forces so they're able to siege it, and now they're creeping up on this city, their last major city. So the red team is able to capture this, and forces are now being sent from here to here. The red team is almost reaching the city. They also make a naval landing. They make a naval landing. They encircle the city. They start capturing it. They capture it. They take all the coastline. They are now taking this area, and the remaining forces decide to surrender to the red team. Wow, they're getting fully annexed. Now the foreign aid starts kicking in for the blue team, with brown team forces entering into the blue team and then able to gain more ground in the Grey Nation, now occupying part of their capital city and starting a battle for it. There's also a stalemate happening along the with the other Square Alliance members, and the brown team is also sending their naval force onto this island. So it's now under brown team occupation. Now the yellow team is starting their campaign into the occupation zones of their colony. Troops enter those coastal cities and they're met with open arms by the people there. Same thing happens in the purple occupation zone, and they start moving a bit into the interior, but not much. They don't advance into the actual colonies yet because there's a stalemate happening. Now the brown team sends its navy to this island and they start invading it. With little to no purple team troops stationed here, they take the island out with ease. The same story for this one as well. With the purple team finding out, they station their troops on their coastline. And then the brown team finally makes a landing on the coast. And they make a campaign towards this city, and is a battle that takes place. They also make it to the gates of this one, but they don't fight as much. With this happening, they have to pull some troops from the front line, allowing the blue team to take back some land. Now we have a big turning point here. With the red team surrounded by Triangle Alliance members, they decide to take the opportunity and join the Square Alliance's side in the war. And this opens up a new theater in the war between the red team and Zaluda. Now the red team is going to start their invasion of the yellow team. First act of war, they will send their navies to this island. So there's one that lands on the southern tip and one on the northern tip, and then they fully conquer it. And then there's naval blockade happening, preventing them from attacking this place, this island. Back to Javille's campaign, they finally captured those two cities they were battling for, and this tiny piece of land, which I didn't color. In response, Nifro's troops moved to the brown team campaign, allowing for more room for the blue team to take back most of their occupied lands. On another front, Zaluda's troops stationed here are moving back to their mainland. They go to this major city and then make their way to this major city. The red team's navy on this island now goes downwards and makes a landing, and the red team also has troops stationed here, now going to encircle this city, but the Zaludans don't know it. And they happen to do so successfully. The blue team finally takes out all occupied land from Nifro and start their own campaign into the country. And they manage to take this major city and push a bit more. The brown team decides to link up with them and also fight for this major city. They sneak up from this major city and then from this major city, and they capture it and then this pocket. Now Rojana has a plan. They move their troops out of occupied territory in the blue team. This allows for the blue team to take back some land, and this even makes them meet up with the border of the pink team. The pink team troops that have left the country have now resorted to going into the foreign nations, such as the grey team and the purple team, and now have stationed themselves onto the front lines of those countries. All the oligarchs of the yellow team are trapped in Easy, but they manage to flee on separate boats and go through this strait. Yet this was a risky move, so I'm going to have to explain what happened. Over here in this strait, a bunch of boats of the red team were ramming into the boats containing the 5 oligarchs. Most of the oligarchs were able to make it across fine, but excluding one. There was an oligarch whose boat was rammed and it split into two, and they ended up drowning in the sea. But all the other oligarchs managed to make their way to this major city, Matressa. Mubanish troops finally take over Easy, capital of Zaluda, but then they end up losing this island. Back to Simvarden front, nothing much has been happening, except the blue team has pushed back a bunch more against the pink team. Now we see Mubanish troops making an invasion of the Zaludan coastline. They go very much down, and then they even meet up to the gates of Matressa. All the oligarchs in Matressa have now fled the country, the mainland, to this city, Aluhong. Back to the main front line in Simvada, the blue team finally pushes back the pink team out of all their occupied land, recapturing it all. And then also in the grey team, they finally recapture their capital city thanks to Square Team troops. Back in Zaluda, Battle of Matressa starts. The red team forces overwhelm the yellow team forces, and they fully capture the city. Red team victory. Back in the Simvadan front, the brown team is now making its spearhead towards the purple team's capital city, Baikom. Now the blue team is also making their own offensive into the pink team. They try to get this major city off of them, but they fail to do so. But what they don't fail in is taking this island. And now, interestingly, the grey team is the only one here that's going to make some gains. Right here, in the blue team's occupied land. It is now back under grey team control. Over here, the red team finally makes a landing on this island and they seek to take Aluhong. They make a campaign and then the oligarchs have to flee for the third time, making their way to this island. Back to the grey team troops there, along with the pink team. They have pushed back the blue team because basically no one is here. Okay, now red team troops have entered Aluhong and finally captured the city. And now they are going to search for those oligarchs because some sicko from Aluhong told them, hey, they fled down here. What the heck is wrong with that person? Alright, now the blue team has taken this city and they've also made a naval landing here, which allows them to take this city as well. And over in Nifro, the brown team moves up more, getting closer to the capital city. On this island, the red team pushes out a bit and they make it to the coast. Now the naval ships set sea and then capture this island. And now Navy of the red team is going down towards this island with all the oligarchs. Back in Simvada, with word of the yellow team falling, the troops of the brown team and blue team are going feral. Now the troops want to storm their way to the capital cities of Baikom and Python of the purple and pink teams before the yellow team collapses. Team managed to make their way all the way up to here until they are ultimately stopped. And blue team troops managed to make their way just beside this city before they are ultimately stopped. And of course, the grey team has to push back against the blue team, this time even making it to the border. And now, the short lived spearheads are finally falling, with the pink team literally taking all of it, including this city that the blue team captured, and the purple team taking all of this along with these two cities that the brown team occupied. Finally, the red team makes a landing on this island. They find the four oligarchs and they do stuff to them. You know. And now, with that, the entire yellow team will surrender. Here's the yellow team occupied. And here's the blue and brown teams leaving the occupied land and returning it all to the Square Alliance because they now know that these guys have fallen and now the red team's about to get them. Now the purple team troops are arriving to the shore of the brown team And now they're marking their invasion. Most, if not all, Purple Team troops are concentrated in this small spot of this unclaimed island. This battle is the largest one in this war as a whole. It is so bad that it has given this island the name of the Island of the Fallen. Now the red team is finally launching their large scale invasion of the blue team. Troops are sent here and they're trying to capture this city, and then they plan from there to go up from there to here. And they now are also sending their troops through this tiny gap into the brown team. All defensive forces in the blue team's colony have been destroyed by the purple, pink, and grey teams. This leaves opportunity for land grab, which they are about to do. The pink team take a majority of the land here in this province. We see the purple team take almost all the land here, including this city, and the grey team manages to somehow go all the way down to this city in the colony, making this colony defunct and collapse. Something very bad happens to the blue team. In the mainland, we see them face a big rebellion in pockets of the country where there are no major cities. We see them expanding a lot, linking up the pockets of land they occupy. And yes, they're pretty powerful. And soon, we'll see the end to the blue team, with the brown team unwilling to fight more and their economy already drained and lots of stuff going downhill for them. They will finally surrender. Now it's just the Square Alliance versus the blue team. No more hope, no more support in the blue team, and most of their people are against them. We see the rebellion making a huge expansion, taking this city, and these cities are soon to fall. And the red team makes a big expansion. They get this city, and they also get this one. They're also going to push in some other areas, and they have linked up with the rebellion. The people up here declare themselves separate from the blue team, and the blue team loses control of their colony. Those two cities that they were battling for eventually fall. They take this island, and now all the troops are enclosing into the heart of this country, the capital. The red team is also taking a bunch more land. They cut off this area and siege it. While little to no forces are fighting in the capital city, the king is trapped. The king is trapped in its castle. And unwilling to face the consequences of being on the enemy side of the war, he decides to. I can't say what he does because this will get me demonetized. And with that, the blue team falls. The 5-year war has ended. The blue team has fallen, the yellow team has fallen, and the brown team has left the war. Let's take a look at this peace treaty. In this peace treaty, we can see a lot has changed. Let's go from continent to continent. Well, something like that. We see the grey team annexing a majority of the colony, and therefore they have a huge buff. The purple team takes this slither of land, the pink team takes this, And then this new line team is formed. We can see the blue team has been partitioned a lot. We see the red team taking a lot of land, these two cities, and yada yada. The northern country has formed, they take the capital, and the blue team is now a shell of its former self. Looking at the yellow team, we can see the red team took some provinces off of them, including their capital. The capital has been moved to Matressa, and, well, the brown team has lost their occupation zone. This province, they partitioned it between the red and gold team, and that's it for this peace treaty. Oh, and also the maroon country got annexed. Yeah. We go to this side of the world on this continent. So the red and blue teams, these different ones, they're going to have a competition on land expansion or whatever. So the blue team will take a slither, a bit more land up here, and they also will annex these 3 islands. And then the red team decides to combat this by settling these 2 islands, expanding up, and then discovering this one and annexing it. And yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Also, shout out to my friend. He helped a lot with this. Without him, I'd probably never have been able to make this episode. And thank you for watching. And see you eventually in the 11th episode. That tops up the 5-year war, and I think I have nothing else to say. So, Jack Flicks, zooming